York. He's performed all over. Give it up for Mr. Paul Singh! I know what you're all thinking. Who is driving the yellow cab tonight? Actually, I have a desk job at the 7-Eleven. So how are you guys doing? Give it up for Fanatical, give it up for Planet Pix, bringing you comedy, bringing you multicultural. You know, people are hard to impress. I was telling my buddy about how great this comedy tour is. He goes, oh, this is nothing. In Bombay, they have these comedy tours that give you free full body massage with happy ending. I'm like, really, man? Did that happen to you? Well, no, but it happened to my wife. So don't worry, folks. I've talked to management. They're willing to match that offer. So, a little bit about myself. I'm from India. Any Indians in the house? Alright, 5 of them. My family's here. But you know, it's nice to see people from our part of the world now. Because when I first came to America 32 years ago, there were hardly any Indians. I was so homesick, I used to get excited. Every time I saw somebody my color, I would run after him, give him a big hug. Namaste, kaise ho? No comprende mucho hoto. In Spanish, that means get away from me, you fag. But nowadays, we're so spoiled that if we see somebody from our part of the world, we make a U-turn right away. Better don't look. She's from our village. Besides, we didn't invite her to your birthday party. That's because she gives us cheap yard sale gifts. But you know, immigrants are doing so well in America. Give it up for yourself, folks. You know, did you guys know that the top 3 spelling bee contest winners in America were Indians? How many people did that? Make some noise. My boss is kind of a redneck. He says, now why is it that these goddamn Indians keep winning all the spelling bee contests? It's very simple, boss. You would win the spelling bee contest too if your name was Subramanian Srinivasan Venkateshwaram. But being a Punjabi, I have my own way of spelling things. Because one time the immigration guy stopped me and he started giving me a hard time. He's like, what's your name? Satinder. Spell it for me. S as in samosa. A as in Aishwarya Rai. T as in Taj Mahal. I as in Indira Gandhi. N as in New Delhi. D as in dangerous. Young man, you keep that up and you'll get a free one-way ticket to Punjab. So, you know, have you noticed that if you mispronounce an American name, people get really upset? Excuse me, sir, my name is Marcella, not Masala. I'm like, lady, you're lucky I remembered your name. You know, try remembering my name. Indian Paul Singh. You know, my parents were upset that I shortened my name to Paul. They're like, why did you change your name to Paul? You gave me such a beautiful name. Indian Paul Singh. I'm like, yeah, every time somebody wants to spell my name, I have to take annual leave. I can't even fill out a job application. You know, I take up the name column, the address 1 column. This HR guy got upset at me. He's like, hey, what kind of zip code is Sing. You know, it's so hard to meet anybody with that name like that. Every time I try to talk to a girl, she'd be like, TMI, TMI. I'm like, that was just my name, bitch. So I started learning English in 6th grade. And you know, it's usually not a problem unless I get pulled over. Sir, I want you to recite the alphabet backward. I'm like, dude, you're lucky I can say the alphabet forward. And that's when I'm sober. You know, in 7th grade, they put me in a Catholic school, and we were the worst class in the whole school. We were the worst English class in the whole school. The principal came over to see what was going on. So he wrote a word, nature, N-A-T-U-R-E, nature, on the board. And he asked me, he said, son, can you pronounce this word? N-A-T-U-R-E, nature. He caned me. And then he asked the whole class, they all said nature. So he tells the teacher, he says, teacher, I want you to fail the whole class. The teacher was a Punjabi guy. He says, Principal Sahab, come on, they're little kids. Why do you want to ruin their pature? Why don't you wait till they're a little bit more mature? So, you know, I'm kind of an open-minded guy, and I respect all religions, but I hate it when people push their beliefs on you. My uncle says to me, says, hey, you're a Sikh, how come you don't wear a turban? I'm like, uncle, that's like saying, it's hunting season, why don't you wear some antlers? You know, how many people know who Sikhs are? Make some noise. You know, Sikhs are peace-loving, law-abiding citizens of India. They're not terrorists. They just happen to wear a turban. And that confuses everybody. I was in the Springfield Mall, wearing my favorite turban, and this little girl says, look, mommy, it's Bin Laden! Her mom's like, sweetheart, Bin Laden is much taller. That's his second cousin. You know, every race thinks they have it hard. I have an African-American friend. He's always complaining to me. He's like, oh, yo, man, it's rough being a brother, man. His pictures are so prejudiced. I'm like, Tyrone, you want to see some hatred? Wrap this towel on your head. So how many married folks? Make some noise. How many married folks? How many single people make some noise? Clearly a happier bunch. How many single people wish they were married? Make some noise. Wow. How many married people wish they were single? Make some noise. See us after the show, there's a lot of single comedians that are kind of lonely. We just celebrated our 21st wedding anniversary. Thank you. You know, when you've been married that long, people think you have a lot in common. My wife and I, we have nothing in common. We only have one thing in common. Can anybody guess what that is?
The kids.
Costco. And even there, we have our differences. She likes the jewelry section. I like the return section. She stimulates the economy. I cause recession. Isn't it strange how Costco will take anything back? Can you imagine if Costco did matrimonial services? Marriage services, sir? Hello, I would like to bring my husband back. What's wrong with him? Oh, he snores too much, and I think he has a gas leak. And the handle is broken. You know, I was talking about my friend. Look at our neighbor John. He's always hugging his wife, kissing her, touching her all over. How come you don't do that? I tried. Big slap me. Then John slapped me. Now you're about to kick my ass. You know, a husband could never compare his wife like that to the neighbors. Look at our neighbor Jennifer. She's always hugging her husband, kissing him, touching him all over. How come you don't do that? I tried. John liked it. He even bought me this purple necklace. You know, there is one place an immigrant should never go, and that's an auto auction. I made the mistake of going there, and this is what it sounded like. Even the white people are walking around like, what the hell is he talking about, man? What the hell is he saying? Then I accidentally scratched my nose. Ended up buying a pink Cadillac Coupe de Ville. So, Mary Kay got the green turban. Did you guys know that these auctioneers actually go to school to learn this chant? Can you imagine an auctioneer trying to be romantic to his wife on Valentine's Day? Give me a hug. Now got a hug, give me a kiss. Now got a kiss, give me some love, give me Daddy! People always come to me and go, hey man, for an immigrant, you talk pretty fast yourself. I'm like, dude, you would talk fast too if you were paying 89 cents a minute to call me delegate. How you doing, Mom? How you doing, Dad? How's the neighbor? How's the cat? Saradu, namaste! Alright folks, that's my time. My name is Paul Singh. You guys Give it up.